It's time for another cozy catch-up. This is the fall edition of A Cuppa and a Chat. Hello book friends, I'm Jen and welcome to my reading life and welcome to another Cuppa and a Chat video. These are just kind of chit-chatty videos where I share with you what I'm reading, a little bit about tea, share some of my mugs, some of my craft projects. So I have all of the above, plus I have some of my favorite fall snacks that I like to have with a cup of tea in the afternoons and evenings. So I'm going to share some of those as well. But let us get into all the cozy chit chat. Grab yourself a cuppa and let's dive right in. First up, I have to share my fall mug, which says, "Oh my gourd, I love fall." Up until recently, this was actually the only fall mug that I owned, and I'm not sure why that is the case because I love fall. I love everything autumnal. My birthday is in the fall, my anniversary is in the fall, my son's birthday is in the fall. Lots and lots of things occur in the fall to make this just a lovely festive time for me. Plus, I just love the coziness of fall. And I'm not sure why I don't have more mugs. So I would like to add a few more to my collection. I have had one more added, which you may have seen in my recent video. My lovely subscriber and friend, Debbie, sent me this beautiful autumnal mug. It says, "Autumn is proof that change is beautiful." Just so lovely. Thank you again, Debbie. I love this mug. So perfect for autumn, but yes, I'm gonna have to try to add a couple more to my collection, maybe an Emma Bridgewater. And yeah, so I'm just keeping my eye out for any mugs that catch my fancy that have autumnal feeling to them. And of course, to go along with tea, well, let's see, what am I drinking today? Today, I'm just drinking my regular Yorkshire decaf. That is my go-to decaf tea of the moment. If you've watched these Cuppa and a Chat videos or any of my videos for any length of time where I've chatted about tea, you know I am very, very basic. I like just a basic black British breakfast type tea. That's what I enjoy the most. I am not an herbal tea drinker. I don't like a lot of flavors. Occasionally I will. I do like some of the biscuit brew teas that I think it's Yorkshire tea that puts those out as well. I have a couple of those and I will dip into those occasionally, but 99.9% of the time, I'm just drinking either a basic caffeinated breakfast tea. Yorkshire Gold is my go-to these days. And then I also drink the Yorkshire decaf. And that is what I have at the moment. So I would love to know what kind of tea you're drinking right now. And then when I'm having afternoon tea, which I have recently, because my friend Elizabeth always has the most lovely afternoon tea setups that she does, and she shares them on Instagram almost daily. And I have just kind of been thinking about how lovely it would be to sort of just have an afternoon ritual, like a cup of tea and a little snack, and sit down with my book and just have a few minutes, even if it's only 15 or 20 minutes to just sit down, take a quiet moment and just take minutes for myself, put my phone away, get out whatever book I'm in the mood for reading, and just sit with a snack and a cup of tea in the afternoon. And so I've been incorporating that into my daily routines. I don't do it every single day. Sometimes my schedule doesn't allow it, but when I can, I really am enjoying those few minutes of just taking a moment for myself. And Elizabeth is always eating the most delicious home-baked goods. I don't always have time to make a home-baked good, and so I do rely on some store-bought treats to add to my routine. And so I thought I would share a few with you that I'm really enjoying, that I think are lovely, kind of, fun snack items to have during the fall. And one of my go-tos that I have all the time are these Trader Joe's maple leaf cookies. what is more autumnal than a maple leaf shaped cookie? I feel like that's about as autumnal as it gets. And these are so delicious, and just one cookie is the perfect amount. They're a pretty good size. This box is actually empty because if my son gets a hold of these, he eats like 5 of them in one sitting. And so the box goes very quickly. So I have to get another one this week when I go to Trader Joe's. But if you have a Trader Joe's near you, well, I don't know about every Trader Joe's, but our Trader Joe's stocks these pretty much year round. So this isn't a seasonal item. I can find them in the store year round, and I do buy them pretty much year round, though I especially enjoy them in the autumnal months because it's such a lovely little treat and the perfect size for afternoon tea. And then next is a new to me snack that I just found at Costco last week, excuse me. And that are these Almondines French almond cakes. And these are little individually wrapped almond cakes, and they're so cute. They look like little flowers. Hopefully you can, let me put it over here closer to the camera. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Anyway, they're just this petite little size, but it feels like, you know, you're having tea and cake, but just this lovely little bite-size little almond cake, and they're delicious and they're really moist, and yeah, it's a pretty big bag, so hopefully I can get through it. I actually might share some of these with my neighbor because she also likes to drink tea, so are also lovely. And then actually my newest favorite find, which I don't have currently, I'm going to get another bag at the store this week, and I actually just keep this in the freezer because I'm going to always make toast out of it, and that way it keeps fresh longer, because, you know, sometimes breads will go bad very quickly just sitting out on the countertop. But this is another Trader Joe's find, so if you don't have a Trader Joe's near you, I'm sorry, but this is their apple cinnamon sourdough bread. I will put a picture of it here for you all to see what it looks like. This is a new seasonal item. I've never seen it before at Trader Joe's, and I shop at Trader Joe's weekly, so I haven't seen this in years past. It is new, and it is so good. It makes the most delicious toast, just plain buttered toast. It also makes absolutely scrumptious cinnamon toast. So if you are a cinnamon toast fan and you like apples, then definitely give this bread a try. It's got pretty good sized chunks of apples in each bread slice. I mean, not huge, but like, you know, cut up little bite-sized pieces of apple. And it's not, if you're not a huge sourdough fan, which I actually am a huge sourdough fan because I grew up near San Francisco where sourdough originated. So we ate sourdough growing up, but this isn't too tangy. So it's just kind of a nice balance of the sweetness of the apples with the sourdough bread. So really yummy. My new go-to for tea and toast. And the next items I wanted to share in our cozy little chat here are my crafty projects that I've been working on. And I know some of you have been waiting to see the finished result of my bookshelf insert project, and I finished it right at the very end of August. And this is it. This is the Eternal Bookstore. So it's hard to see, apologies, because the glare from the plastic on the front is probably going to show you the camera. So I'm going to try to get it closer. I know you're just getting the reflection of all my bookshelves, but I will insert either some photos or some video here of what the interior looks like. It's really hard to see, and but it is all finished. And yes, it has a little quote on the side that says, "You cannot change the life length, but you can change its width." a little door on the back, and inside is a battery pack, which turns the lights on inside. Did I turn them on? I did. I don't know if you can, oh, you can kind of see back there. And then there's a light up here kind of in the front. There's another one in the back there. But when it is on the shelf, which I still haven't figured out which shelf I'm going to put this on, but I'm going to hopefully try to do that today. And so I will insert a little video clip of it on the shelf where it is going to reside. Maybe I'll put it on my rotating bookshelf. I don't know. Now I've finally turned it off. Oops. You see, I had to make all of these books. All these books were handmade by me. Some of them have like, you had to accordion fold all the pages, and then some of them are just paper wrapped around a little wood block. So yes, so there are books all along the walls. There's books in the back, on the back wall here. Kind of hard to see, but I wish there was a cat. There's a little puppy dog laying here, right? There's a fireplace on this wall over here, but kitten, that'd be so cute, but oh well, it's still lovely. And yes, so happy to have finally finished it. I think this is like 2 years in the making. You know, I just ebb and flow in terms of my mood for doing crafts, but recently I have been trying to step away more from my phone and being addicted to checking it constantly for news updates, for social media updates. I just feel that that is not good for my own personal mental health and well-being. And I don't know about you, the world it feels very heavy right now. And so I have found that setting my phone down and picking up something like a craft or a book, or spending time with my family, or getting outside for a walk, or baking something, whatever it might be, just making myself a cup of tea and having a few quiet moments, writing in my journal, updating my reading journal. All of those things just make me feel so much better than doom scrolling, as they say. So I've really been working on that the past week. But let us get back into crafts. So I thought I would show you my cross stitch projects. Whoops, the bag is falling over. I've shared my cross stitch bag before. It is this bag that I received from the hospital when my son was born. And it's just the perfect size for cross stitch projects. And then I keep each individual cross stitch project in one of these zippered plastic bags. I will link these below. Everything that I can will be linked in the description box below. So if I am able to link it, I will. So be sure to check down there if there's something you see in this video that you're interested in. And if I miss linking something, please let me know and I will add it, because sometimes in the post-production, Jen forgets things. And then I keep, this is my neck light, which I've shown before. It is fantastic. It's got 3 brightness settings and it's perfect for up close, you know, crafting, needlework. If you knit or crochet or any of those things, I think this is great for low light situations, or if your eyes, like mine, are just getting older. So I have been working on, and actually I think I'll take the hoop off so I can show you guys better. So I have been still working on this spring cross stitch project. I know it's autumn. I'm about to switch over to work on my autumn cross stitch, but I was just, this spring one is so small and I am very close to being done with it, that I just at least wanted to make a little more progress on it. And I may work on this for another week or so and see if I can get it finished. But this is where I am right now. It's cute. Sorry, it's wrinkled because of the hoop. But I just think this is so, so cute. I'm probably just going to frame this. I don't know. I would love to have some of my cross stitch projects done into pillows, but I don't even know how to go about doing that. I can't sew it into a pillow. I do not have the sewing skills to that. I think I've heard that there are Etsy shops that will do stuff like that for you, but I don't know how expensive it is. So I have to look into that a little bit, but this would make a cute little pillow, and it does kind of go with the like blue, yellow, greens that are in my reading room here. And it might be just a fun little like tiny pillow to have sitting here on my chaise lounge during the spring. So yeah, if I don't just frame it, if I can find someone who can maybe make this into a pillow, maybe I'll do that. I don't know, but we shall see. So that is my current project that I was just working on it last night while we were watching TV. And then of course I need to get back to my autumn cross stitch, which is very large. And here, I'll take the hoop off of this one also. I don't know that I've done any more on this since the last time I showed it to you all in one of these Cuppa and a Chat videos, but just to show you again, this is what I have done so far. I'm actually working my way up towards the top. The bottom is almost all completed. I might have some border things that I still need to do, but this is the one that I'm doing. So you can see I've done all this bottom, and I'm just starting on the wording up here at the top. And yes, so this is from the Prairie Schooler. Oh, I should have told you what the cross stitch brand was for this other spring one. This is Little House Needleworks, and I get most of my cross stitch things from, I'm blanking on the name of the website. There's a website that I use to purchase most of my cross stitch patterns and embroidery thread that I can't find at my local Michael's, but I will put the website here and I will link it in the description box below. So if you want to check that out, you can. I've heard, actually, I think one of you told me that the Prairie Schooler is no longer in business, but I think you can still get some of their patterns are still being sold. And I don't know if that's just until they run out of inventory or what, but I need to look into that because I love the Prairie Schooler. I have done quite a number of their projects, and I have a lot of their patterns that I would still like to do. So they are lovely if you like a sort of kind of vintage, you know, kind of country house style to your cross stitch, then they are a wonderful example of that. But you may want to look into their patterns sooner rather than later, because I think if they have gone out of business, they might not be available for that much longer. But my mom got me into them. She has done quite a few Prairie Schooler projects as well. And that is it for my current craft projects that I'm working on. One more sip of tea, and then let us get into some of the books that I'm currently reading. I thought I would share with you what I actually have on the go at the moment. Just gonna grab this stack right here. Oops. First up, my current read for my Gilded Age Buddy Read group is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I read this in high school and did not like it at all. But two of my Gilded Age Buddy Read friends really love this book. They've read it multiple times, and so they convinced myself and our other friend to read it or reread it, as the case may be. And I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm actually really enjoying it. So much more than I thought I would. So yes, it's just been wonderful to revisit it. And F. Scott Fitzgerald's writing is just so vivid and almost cinematic in its style. Just his descriptions of things are so amazing. And even though the characters are not necessarily super likable, all of them, or morally ambiguous, many of them, and there is a bit of that sort of rich people behaving badly trope, I guess, for lack of a better word. I don't think it was a trope when Fitzgerald wrote it, but there is some of that going on. But just because his writing is so fantastic, I think I'm just appreciating that so much more on this reread. So we are halfway done and we'll be finishing it up this week. So very much enjoying that. And then I have one other audiobook on the go. I'm totally blanking on the title. I'll put it here on the screen. This is the current entry in the Susan Ryland mystery series by Anthony Horowitz. And it's something murder. I can't remember. And I am just loving it on audio. Leslie, what's her name? Wow, my brain is not working today, you guys. The woman who plays Susan Ryland in the BBC adaptation of this series is reading or narrating the audiobook, at least the Susan Ryland section. And then there is a male narrator who does the sort of the Atticus Pund book within a book part of the book. And it's just fantastic. I am so drawn in. This is a series that I didn't love. The first book, Susan Ryland really got on my nerves, but I feel like she's mellowed since that first book. And now, especially since having watched the TV series, I am very much enjoying this entry. So it's another audiobook I have on the go. And then, of course, I am finishing up my reread of Crampton Hodnett by Barbara Pym. This is our pick for the Cozy Reader Book Club this month. We meet this coming Saturday to discuss this, and I'm so looking forward to our discussion. I only have a few more chapters left to go, but I am just loving my reread. It's been so long since I read this, so it's almost like reading it for the first time because I really didn't remember that much about it, but this has been a delight and perfect for Spinster September. If you're participating in that this year or next year, definitely give Crampton Hodnett a read. It's fantastic. And then this month I had the Book Jenny's Patreon group pick a book of mine to read. I had them choose from a few Persephone titles that I have on my shelf, and they picked Mrs. Miniver by Jan Struther for me to read, and I'm loving this so much. So Mrs. Miniver is basically these newspaper articles, sort of stories that were written by Jan Struther to kind of, I think, boost morale during World War II. And so it's all about Mrs. Miniver, this fictional Mrs. Miniver and her family, and just kind of their day-to-day lives. And it's such a lovely little just slice of life type of a book. And I can just pick it up and read a couple of the articles, stories/chapters, and it's just such a lovely way to end my day. I've been reading this in bed at night, and yeah, just perfection so far. I'm about a little over halfway through, I think, and yeah, loving this so much. And then I am going to watch the movie as soon as I finish the book, so I will be sharing a special review video of Mrs. Miniver for my Book Jennies, and chatting about how I enjoyed the movie because I've heard wonderful things about it. If you would be interested in joining the Book Jennies, the link to my Patreon is always in the description box below, so feel free to check that out. And then next up is the group read along that I am doing in September, so that we did not have to say goodbye to Beth Brower for one more month yet, and that is The Queue. And this is a standalone novel by Beth Brower, so separate from the Emma M. Lyon series, written before Emma M. Lyon was written. And in this, we are following Quincy St. James, and she is an orphan who's taken in by her uncle, and they run this newspaper called The Queue, which puts out like questions, only like, you know, it's sort of like the personals in a normal newspaper, I guess you would say. But all they print are questions. And so you can put a question into the queue and then they will print it in their next edition. And Quincy is she's very focused on the business, on running it, on making it successful, on the numbers. And then her uncle passes away, and he has left some requirements for her that she has to complete. I think there's 10 of them, 10 or 12 over the next 12 months that she has to complete in order to remain the head of the queue and have it be hers. And she has no idea what the requirements are. And there is a solicitor who works at the queue who knows what the requirements are and is tasked with making sure she does them or doesn't do them. And yes, so we're just kind of going along from there. I'm barely into it right now. I'm like 40 pages in, and I don't know. The jury is out still on how I feel about this one. Like I'm drawn into it and I'm curious about what's going on, but we'll see. We shall see. There's been some interesting discussion already in the Discord group. A couple people have finished it, maybe didn't love it. few other people are maybe giving up on it. So we shall see where I fall in and amongst those feelings about this book, but I am curious. So we'll see how it goes. And then lastly, for my current reads is Upstream by Mary Oliver. These are selected essays of hers, and I am just kind of picking this up when I'm just, have a few minutes and want to sit with Mary Oliver's wonderful prose. And she's a fabulous poet, but her essays are equally as wonderful. So this is delightful for this time of year, and I'm not sure why it took me the 3 or whatever years it took for me to finally pick this one up, but I have picked it up now and I am very much enjoying it. And I think that will do it for this edition of A Cuppa and a Chat. Thank you so much for joining me for this slightly autumnal, cozy chit chat. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us chat down in the comments. Why don't you share your favorite autumnal snacks? Do you have any good autumnal recipes for cakes, breads, whatever that would be good for my afternoon tea times? And what are your favorite snacks? What kind of crafts are you working on? What books are you reading right now? Let's talk all things bookish, cozy, crafty, tea time, autumnal goodness down in the comments. And if you're here but you don't have anything that you want to add in the comments, but you'd like to let me know you were here, because comments really do help my channel, why don't you leave a leaf of some kind, a maple leaf, one of those fall leaves, a pumpkin, which is also a gourd, anything autumnal you would like. If you want to leave those emojis down in the comments, I really do appreciate them and I love seeing them, and thank you so much for that. And if you enjoyed this video, if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, I would love to have you join my bookish community. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your day to spend it with me here in my cozy corner of booktube, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Bye!